Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sandy Allnock. I'm an artist and a budding nature nerd. And I say budding because I don't come to this by any schooling. I come to it by the school of experience. Back almost a year ago, I guess it's almost a year ago, last December in 2024, I found a video by someone named Marion on Marion's World's YouTube channel, and she was doing phenology wheels. She'd been doing them all year, and they were so beautiful that I just had to do it. I was maybe going to do 1 month, maybe 2 months. I have kept that up all year, and it's been so exciting and so enriching. I've become that person who always has her phone at hand to take pictures of a piece of grass in the sidewalk, or to film the trees around me and make the dogs shush so that I can hear the birds and figure out which ones are singing. I'm now the person who is constantly on the lookout for things in nature changing around me because I'm aware of how they were 6 months ago. I notice what's different about them now. I'm also the person who has started being a little nature nerdy with my friends. I was driving with a friend of mine out to an island, and we were in the line for the ferry. There were trees on either side of the road, and I found myself identifying them. I had the app out, I was taking pictures, and I saw this one tree that had something strange going on. There was something growing up and around it. And he and I were on our phones while we were waiting in line, Googling what's going on with this tree. And that led to conversations about the trees that he used to climb when he was a little boy a long time ago. And it was a lovely conversation. Would not have happened if we hadn't gone down that road of me being the nature nerd and starting to ask questions about something I saw. I also had an instance just, I guess, about a week ago. We had a huge storm, and I had been out with friends. We were doing stuff outside. We had large things we were hauling with us, and we had to bring everything in like a few minutes. And we were like running down the road, carrying just loads of stuff and piling it all back in our cars. We were soaking wet head to toe. I was driving back home, driving down the road, and I saw this tree way up ahead of me, and it was like watching it in slow motion. One of the branches from the very top, and this is like hundreds and hundreds of feet high, one of the branches let loose, and it just started slowly making its way down with all the leaves and the rain swirling around. It just slowly making its way down little by little by little, until when it got to my windshield, it went bam really fast. It's like a weird time thing that I was in, and it scared the daylights out of me. There was nothing that happened. There was no accident. There was no damage to my car, but boy, did it flip me out. I got home and I was standing in the driveway after I parked the car and just watching the storm go by and watching this huge wind blowing leaves like crazy everywhere. And I looked down at the driveway and I noticed there was a leaf for a kind of maple tree that we do not have in my neighborhood. The closest one I've seen is probably a good 20, 30 blocks away. And I started thinking about how far that little leaf had flown, and all his little friends. They'd flown that far to get to my driveway in that storm. And it just got me thinking. So I went and I picked up a leaf and I went inside, and I was going to be working on jelly plate stuff. So I jelly plated that leaf into my sketchbook and I wrote the whole story down. What has happened now to me is that I've become this collector of stories about nature in my life. I tell my friends these crazy stories, and they tell me their crazy stories. And it's all about learning about what nature is doing right now, right around us. And as long as we just go through life oblivious and all we think about is what we're going to have for dinner that day and what do we need to pick up at the grocery store, we miss so much along the way. And my hope is to create more nature nerds like me, and maybe you're one of them. I'm not going to be trying to get everybody to do phenology wheels. I'm not even going to do them again next year because I'm going to focus my energies elsewhere, but I want to take what I learned from my study of phenology and apply it to regular nature journaling. Like, I want to get more people to start looking at what's going on in the trees. Why are there 8 crows there? Or what are these little white berries doing on this bush where I've never seen them before? Like, what are they? Identify them. Tell me what they are. That's what I'm hoping to create in others. As I mentioned in a previous video, and I've been getting lots of questions about it, so I know a lot of you are waiting for the answer. I wanted to do a year-long nature journaling class. There were a couple of things that were major obstacles that I needed to figure out how we would overcome. One is that I'm going to be documenting my world. So I'll be sketching the plants and the trees and the animals that are around me, not around you. And for me to teach you how to draw all the things that are around me doesn't do you any good for your nature journaling. It might do some good for nature related art. Nature art is different than nature journaling. Nature journaling has more of a storytelling component to it. And that's where I think we can come to more common ground in this class. The other big issue is it's a year. It's a lot of content for me to put together. And when people are used to getting videos in every lesson, yeesh, that could be a little bit on the scary side for me in terms of my commitment for a year. And for you, in terms of that would cost you a fortune, maybe 2 legs and an arm because you have to have one arm left to draw with. So, how do I take all of this and put it into something that is doable for me, is affordable and doable for you, keeps us all going out into our own environments, and yet we all come out with wonderful results at the end of the year in terms of our nature journaling? So the plan that I've come up with is on the first of the month, every month of the year, there will be a video, and it's going to be about an hour-long video. The year will be divided into the basically 4 seasons, so winter, spring, summer, and fall. I may end up doing an email to everybody on the first of the month just to remind you in case you forgot you signed up for the class. But I'm generally going to just rely on you to go to your classroom and get your lesson. Each one of those is going to be about something in the season. So in the winter time, we'll be talking about how to render snow, or how to paint footprints, or how to look for little signs of life in the midst of a very cold environment. Or what do you do when everything's brown around you? How do you find something interesting to journal? Same thing for each season as we go. Secondly, we're going to do some other lessons throughout the month on the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. Those are going to be photo lessons. So there might be maybe a picture of what I saw and then how I turned it into a page in my journal. It might be storytelling. It might be a step by step on how I did a particular thing. There's going to be all kinds of stuff on those other weeks. And each one of them, I'm going to turn into a challenge to students so that each week you have something to go out and look for, something to search for in your environment, or a layout to use in your journaling, a different type of design for the page, maybe collaging something. It's going to be general enough that everybody can interpret it the way you wish, but it's going to keep us all out there in our environment, going for walks, going for hikes, and staying engaged with our environments. So that's what I'm going to be doing those weeks. The first will be the video. Second, third, and fourth are going to be on the 7th, 14th, and 21st. A post of whatever it is that I've made that week, whatever I've journaled. Might be a couple pages. I don't know. If I'm not doing my phenology wheels anymore, maybe I'll be doing more journaling pages. And I'm going to be working in a bunch of different journals too. So who knows how many sketchbooks I'll fill. On the 28th, I'm going to invite a guest. Now, it might be a professional who I invite to come and share something about journaling in that season with us. It might be one of you who is a student, because I'm going to be watching everybody's posts all month. And if I find somebody who's done a really great job of maybe showing a step by step or telling a great story, or they, came up with some really interesting idea, then I'm going to reach out to that person and pay them. Yes, you could get paid to create that lesson on the 28th of that month. So that will hopefully encourage people to start tagging me and showing me what you're creating. That's going to take us through the year in that same cycle. So every month you'll know on the 1st, 7th, 14th, 21st, and then 28th, if there's somebody who wants to do that, then you're going to have content each one of those weeks. You're going to have challenges that we'll put out there for everybody, and you'll just keep creating all year long. So that brings us to the other question, like, what are you going to charge us for all this? Because that is a lot of content. It is a lot of work. And for me, it's a huge amount of work to be doing on top of everything else that I do, because I'm still going to be doing YouTube videos. I'm still going to be putting classes out there. This is just trying to find a way to incorporate my normal nature journaling and be able to take you along with me and do that and not lose too much sleep throughout it. So the idea is going to be you can either take one season if you're somebody who you're only going to journal in the summer, then you can just sign up for that one. The seasonal ones are going to be $29.99. So you'll be able to just sign up for those singly if you would like. And if you want the full Megillah, that's like $30 times 4. That's $120. That seems like a lot. So I'm going to knock that price down for the full class down to $99. So that's going to at least bring the price way down for you if you want to do the full year. Now that brings us to how can you sign up for this class and when? Well, you can't sign up for it yet. I'm sorry. This is kind of a pre-discussion of it as opposed to the promotional video for it. That video will come out on December 1st, and that's when you'll be able to sign up for the class. It's going to be perfect for Santa Claus to put in your stocking, by the way. You can have him give you a gift card for it, which would be awesome. But on the 1st of December, I'll just kind of give you some examples of pages that I'll be working on this month, and they will show you different seasons, because right now I don't really have all of that fleshed out necessarily, but I'm working on the plan and I'll be able to show you more of it at the time, and you can sign up for the class. There's a few things you can do to prepare for this course before December 1st, and one of which is to check your supplies. If you normally use watercolor, pen and ink, and you do wash and ink stuff in a sketchbook, maybe you already know if there's colors you need to restock. If there's a brush you've seen, you're like, oh, I need that brush. Treat yourself. I give you permission. You've been good this year. I'm going to have a discussion over on my Substack page today about the supplies that I typically use for wash and ink with nature journaling. And I'll show you pictures of all the sketchbooks that I plan to be using. I'm not going to say I won't add another one because I'm a sketchbook collector, but I'll show you the ones that I'm going to be using and tell you what I think of each one and what they would be good for. So maybe you want to pick up a new sketchbook if you wish. That's entirely up to you. The second thing that I would recommend to get yourself ready is to go out and do a little collection, especially if your neighborhood turns into 12 feet of snow by January 1st, because you may not want to go out and try to find a leaf because I said to go find a leaf or a stick. So go out with a little bag and collect a couple of leaves, collect different colors. I don't know what we're going to need for colors, but collect some green ones, some brown ones, some red ones, some yellow ones, some mottled ones, different species. Just collect a bunch of different leaves. Press them in a book for a couple of days and check them once they're nice and flat and dried. You can put them in plastic pages. That's what I'm doing. I'm keeping kind of a little book for myself that I can work from throughout the winter. There are going to be some lessons where we might want to be drawing a stick. So look for things on the ground. Don't pull sticks or twigs or branches off of trees. Just find stuff that's hit the ground already and get some sticks, a little piece of bark, maybe some moss, like any of those little kinds of things that you might be able to add to one of your pages in the depths of winter. Although we are going to be talking about how to paint snow and how to render footprints in the snow and that sort of thing, you might want to have a little leaf that's hanging off of a twig, and it will help to have one in front of you and not have to go climb through 12 feet of snow to find it. Last thing I want to talk about is phenology wheels. I'm going to launch a phenology wheel class. It's going to be a small class. It's not going to be huge and massive lessons or anything, but it's going to be about like how to draw the wheel, how to, make the circles and all that kind of stuff. It's going to talk about how to make the book that I made, and it's going to talk a little bit about phenology wheels in general and how to approach it and that kind of stuff. For those who like learn in different ways, I'm working on, and I hope that if I speak this into the universe, I can make it happen. I'm working on a phenology wheel book. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get it done in my planned time for Christmas. My hope was to get it out there on the Amazon store so that you could ask for it for Christmas, or you could give it as a gift to someone else. But I kind of figured that this is a little, I shouldn't say easier book to write than my drawing book that I've been working on, but at least the most of the content is kind of already created. I have already 10 months of the art finished. So at least it's just the writing portion. And I'm still hoping I'll be able to get that done and in the Amazon store in time to order it to get it for Christmas. If that doesn't happen, then it'll be early next year. So if you're interested in phenology wheels, there is stuff coming for you. And the class, that little class on just basically how to make one will be available Black Friday weekend. And so, of course, I'm going to have Black Friday sale, so you can mark that on your calendar as well. I think that's all I have to say about that. Links for Substack for the discussion of supplies in the doobly doo. Go check them out. I will see you again next time. And I'm promising I'm going to make some art. Okay, promise. I'll see you then. Bye.